Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, it's about time. Yeah, I'll say it. It's actually well past about time. No, not Friday. Yeah, I mean, it's always about past time that it's Friday. But it's past time, and it's about time. Although it's not time yet because it'll be tomorrow. Michael Cooper is going to be announced that he goes into the Hall of Fame. The former Lobo great, the former Showtime Laker great is getting into the Hall of Fame. Good morning to you. And by the way, Merry Friday. Hold on to your toupees today. It's going to be windy. The opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
Well, what it do?
You all right?
Yeah.
All right. I say this, and the announcement's not been made yet, but it was kind of made by Magic Johnson. So the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame won't announce its Hall of Fame class until tomorrow morning. They'll have a televised show tomorrow morning. But Magic Johnson spilled the beans on his social media. Hardly the best social media follow, by the way, Magic Johnson. But he put out on X yesterday, quote, "I don't even know where to start. I try to wait until Saturday, but I just can't hold the news. I'm so thrilled that my Showtime running mate and one of my best friends, Michael Cooper, has been elected to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Coop is the greatest defensive player I've ever seen in the NBA, and I would know because I went up against him every single day in practice. His play on the offensive side was strong, too. He was an excellent point he went on. He said, I'm so happy for Michael, his wife, Yvonne, and his kids for this well-deserved honor. Laker Nation should be ecstatic as well. Cookie and I can't wait to support Coop at the Hall of Fame in August. I think Lobo Nation's happy as well. I've told you this, and I know JJ Coop's a little probably before you watching him play with the former coach of the Thunderbirds. I'm going to reach out to him this morning. It's a little early in L.A., but I'll see if maybe we can find him this morning. But I think this is long overdue. Larry Bird said he's the best defender he ever played against. Coop's done it at and this is a Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not just the NBA Hall of Fame. But what he's done, he's coached the collegiate level for women's basketball. He's coached at the D-League. In fact, he's I think still, JJ, the only person to have won a title in the NBA, the WNBA, and what was then the D-League, now the G-League. I'm stoked for Mike.
This is awesome. This is unbelievable accomplishment to get to the Hall of Fame. And when you have praise like that from the greats in the game, that backs it up. It's not just a teammate saying it, but one of the ultimate competitors went head-to-head with the rivalry of the Lakers and Celtics. That is a reminder, an example. If you weren't in the Coop era, you weren't in the Showtime Lakers era, how good he was.
Yeah. He was. He came off the bench. He was a defensive, like as good a defender that era's ever seen, and I would argue any era's ever seen. I mean, it's hard to compare eras, and this athlete's better than that. I mean, he was the guy that was assigned Bird. And Bird, I mean, he said it, best I've ever gone up against. He was their shutdown guy. He scored big buckets. He was graceful. He would glide. He was something else, man. And I know Lobo Nation loves him. He comes back to the pit. He comes back on a regular basis to New Mexico. And do you know? So Coop told me the story one time. He wore, and I actually did this in high school, because him. He wore the strings, the drawstring of his shorts out They always hung out of his pants. Everybody else tucks the drawstring in. You know why? Have I ever told you this story? He told me. I asked him years and years ago. I think it was back when we were on the afternoon show in the closet downtown, and I said, why? I've always wondered why. And he said, because his grandmother would go to games when he was a kid, and she had a seeing problem. You know, I don't know if it was glaucoma. It was an eye issue. And so he wore the strings out of his shorts so his grandmother would be able to distinguish him from the other players, because she sitting up in the stands, she couldn't tell who was who. And he just said he always did it from there on out, because that way his grandmother could distinguish who he was on the floor when he played. I always thought that was kind of cool. Little piece of mindless trivia.
It's a little bit of something.
Yeah, it's a little piece of something.
A little bit of something.
You can tuck in the back of your brain and take up some space. All right, we're here for you today, 505-246-0610. I think Kenny Thomas is going to be with us today. Maybe we'll kick it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock today. Got a sweet deal for you today, and get you ready for what should be a tremendous weekend as we go into the Final Four, both on the women's and the men's side. You had a little spice last night in the National Basketball Association. The Golden State Warriors went to Houston and took down the Rockets, 133-110. And there'd been a lot of noise lately. The Rockets have been playing well, and they got at one point, JJ, to within a game, right, of the Golden State Warriors for that 10th and final spot in the play-in tournament. And so there was some noise, and I guess Klay Thompson didn't like it. And there's a Rockets forward who you probably have never heard of named Terry Eason, T-A-R-I, Eason. He's a young man, he came out of LSU. And he wore a shirt on the sideline. He didn't even play. And it said, "Warriors come out to play." You know, it's a takeoff from the movie. Warriors come out to play. And Klay Thompson, I guess, needed some motivation and whatever. So after the game, Klay Thompson said, quote, "That's pretty lame, especially if you're not even playing. It's one thing if you're out there playing, out there competing, and you can back it up, but you're just going to be trolling from the sideline. What are you doing? The time we talk smack, we're out there competing." That's all I have to say about that. They needed motivation to go out and win the I mean, I like me some Klay Thompson, man. I really like Klay Thompson, and I know he's been going through a lot and dealing with a lot. That's what the Warriors needed to motivate them, like to get to the like. Should I say congratulations? You got the 10th spot.
That's what Klay needed.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
This is one where they're in 10th place, but it's not a joke. You know, they're 8 games above 500. In the other conference, you're there and you're well below 500. It's just a credit to the Western Conference. And Klay's a player that you said he's been through a lot this season. He's came off the bench, and if he needed something on a Thursday night against Houston Rockets to get him going, so be it.
Yeah, well, he did, and they went out and played well. So
it's that everyone always references, The Last Dance, Michael Jordan. They post that picture, and I took that personally. Could be like, could think it's nothing, but you never know what gets these guys going on a night.
Are they? Do you give them a chance? The Warriors. They've won 6 in a row, and who they beat? Rockets, Mavericks, Spurs, Hornets, Magic, and Heat.
Yes, because they have Steph Curry.
I think that's right. Right. Can they get hot and can they do something? Like, they're small, and you wonder about where they're going to get some scoring if it's not from Curry, and how's Klay Thompson going to play? There's a part of me that wants to see the Lakers and Warriors in the 9-10 game, but there's a part of me that wants to see the Lakers, and they're now a half game because Sacramento lost last night. They're a half game out of 8. There's a part of me that wants to see the Lakers get into that 7-8 game, win, clear, and let the Warriors win twice and get them both in the playoffs. I'm not looking to demean or somehow belittle New Orleans and Sacramento, but don't we all want to see one more run out of what LeBron and AD, who are playing really well right now, and don't you want to kind of get a look at the Warriors? I know if you're the Nuggets you don't, because you're going to get one of them in the first round, but don't you kind of want to see them get into the full bracket?
Yes, it's exactly what you just referenced there in terms of the Last Dance. Like this. We're not going to see many more runs from these
both
teams.
of those.
We're just not. Because Steph is like 36.
Yeah.
Everyone, I don't know if people realize that. Where LeBron is, like, it's unbelievable what LeBron is still able to do in his career, but this isn't something that he's going to sustain for 3 or 4 more years at this level, to where we still say, man, if this dude's on the court, you have a chance in the playoffs. And it's the dynamics. You have the Kings, who are kind of that. They're not the young team anymore, but they're not the veteran team, so they're smack dab in the middle. The Pelicans, which they're looking for their first taste of it, was Zion Williamson, who has been very good second half of the season. He's in shape. He's looking good. That's a team that's 45-31. New Orleans Pelicans.
Yep.
Like, so this is one where, the LeBron, Steph Curry, the storyline, can they make one more push? That's absolutely there. But it is going to be hard for both those teams to get past either of those teams. But I do see what you're saying. If you can get, the Lakers can get to the 7-8 and get 2 shots at it.
Right. Where the Warriors, right?
And the Warriors get in.
You can get them both in. I think I kind of want, I do. And this, nothing against New Orleans, nothing against Sacramento. But I do want to see one more run of it. To your point, Steph's 36, Clay's 34. They both scored 29 points last night, by the way, in a 133. And that was kind of a statement game for them, I think. I really do. Warriors left, so in front of them, they get Dallas. What's today's date? 5th. So they get Dallas tonight on the road and back-to-backs, which is going to be really interesting to see how that goes down. They get Utah, a big one in L.A., the Blazers, a really big one with the Pelicans, I think, and they end with the Jazz. And so, what is that, 6 left? They got 6 games left. Lakers are now a half game behind Sacramento. And I think the teams are set now, right? The Rockets are 4 games back of the play, and
so they're not
mathematically
out of it, but 4 games, the Warriors are going to hold on to that.
Lakers get home games with Cleveland, Minnesota, Golden State, and they'll end up on the road with the Grizzlies and the Pelicans, and the Pelicans game might be really big.
That's going to be.
Yeah.
For the Lakers.
Well, for both of them. Yeah, for both of them. It could be the difference between playing in the 7-8 game and the 8-9, and you're like, well, what's the difference? And again, recall the format now. In the 7-8 game, so the 7th and 8th place teams will play 1 game. The winner of the 7-8 game goes on into the bracket. They will be the 7th seed. The loser of the 7-8 game will play the winner of the 9-10 game. So the 9th place team and the 10th place team will play 1 game. The loser's out. The winner advances to play the loser of the 7-8 game. The winner of that game goes into the main bracket as the number 8 seed. And I hope that makes sense to you. But that's why there is a big difference between 8 and 9. And the Lakers are a half game outside of Sacramento, who got beat last night 120-109 by the Knicks on the road. Sacramento's got a run now, dude. Sacramento plays at Boston tonight, back-to-back, at the Nets, at Oklahoma City. And then they'll come home for 3 in a row at home. They get the Pelicans and the Suns before ending with Portland. They got a little bit of a run, man.
The next 3 are pretty manageable outside of
Well, they got the Celtics.
Boston, because you wonder kind of where, Boston's in that tough spot right now. Like they're locked in.
What are they playing for?
Like, so I think what would be smart for them is you don't need Tatum or Brown playing 35, 40 minutes right now. You can play them a little bit less than that, but you still want to keep that rhythm going into the playoffs.
The Nets are out.
The Nets are
They're
eliminated.
Out.
They're out.
They're out. And then you're going to get Oklahoma City, who's playing for seeding, still in line for the 1 seed. Then you're going to get a Phoenix team who's playing for seeding
to stay out of the
play-in tournament. Yeah.
Devin Booker talked about it the other night. He said, hey, say what you want about the play-in tournament. He said it got them focused because they made a push to be the top 6 team.
Well, I mean, all of a sudden they're playing really, really well. They won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 8. And look, everybody's got a tough run. They get Minnesota, New Orleans, Clippers twice, the Kings, and the Timberwolves. All of those teams are playoff teams.
I believe they have the hardest remaining schedule.
Yeah, they got a tough run. Everybody's got a tough run, and everybody's in the West is playing for something. The East, not so much. They're playing for some seeding in the middle, but Boston's wrapped it up as the best record. The Bucks probably going to be number 2, and then you got Indiana, Miami, Philly trying to get out of the play-in tournament. And so it's going to be exciting as we go down. All right, we're going to get an exciting weekend as well in college basketball. And again, I'm stoked for Coop, man. If you want to get in on Michael Cooper, give us a call at 505-246-0610. We're here for you on a Friday. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com, JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. And you can watch us on the Facebook. Adrian's produced it on ProView Networks. It's Comcast Channel 26, YouTube channel for ProView Networks, and our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and we'll get there. We come back, some big spreads. Are the games going to be that wide margined? For some reason, me thinks not in the Final Four. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
ripped,
plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Tonight, North Carolina State, South Carolina, Iowa, and UConn. What kind of viewership does Iowa and UConn get tonight? It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. I mean, is this, you would think it's a bigger stage, dude. It's the Final Four. It's against UConn. Is tonight a bigger stage for women's basketball than Monday was? Because everything says it should be, doesn't it?
It's a bigger stage in terms of what's on the line. I don't think they're going to get the same numbers that LSU Iowa got,
because
it's not the same buzz. We can.
It isn't. I know that.
We can say Paige Beckers, we can say UConn, but it does not hit the same as Caitlin Clark,
Angel Reese.
And
we better start giving Angel Reese a hell of a lot more credit.
Right?
And I say we as not necessarily you and me, but the people who are watching this. I think it's understood that Caitlin Clark is the player of the year, and she got the accolades. She is the leading scorer in the history of college basketball and everything that goes there. And we all watched on Monday, 12.1 million of us, because it was a rematch of last year. It was it was because of the smack talk, right? I mean, literally,
yes,
if Angel Reese,
the antics in it, it was a national championship rematch, everything that went with it.
Yeah, if Angel Reese didn't do the ring thing and the I can't see you thing, 7 million, 7.5 million? I mean, really good viewership numbers, right? Because everything tells you this should be bigger. UConn is the behemoth in this sport for the last, 2 decades? If you say women's basketball, anybody who knows, you can name one coach. It's Gino Auriemma, right? It's what UConn built. It's Paige Beckers now, and it's Diana Taurasi and Rebecca Lobo, and I mean, go on and on and on.
And with UConn and Paige Beckers, this stat like kind of reminded me of, Paige Beckers is that good. It's not just what's UConn. They're trying to hype it up. No. She was the player of the year as a freshman in 2021, and the only time that UConn did not make the Final Four is when she tore her knee up in 2022-23, and that was the first time that they missed it since 2007. But when Paige Beckers is healthy, UConn's in the Final Four.
It's amazing to me, right? What time are they late game? What time are they on? Do you know? I'll find it.
They are the second game.
So they're on probably like about 7 our time and 9 o'clock. But it's Friday night. You got an East Coast team. So what do you expect the number to be? If 12.1 was a Monday night number, unless people watch on a Friday night because more people are out, right? But, I mean, this is an 8 million viewership, isn't it? Which is still going to be really, 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 really good.
Huge.
I want to watch it. Like, isn't it something you feel like you got to watch?
Yes.
I want to see how Gino Auriemma and this coach devises a defense to try to slow down Caitlin Clark. I want to watch another Caitlin Clark show because, well, by the way, I was really entertained by watching her the other night go bonkers. What do I got tonight, dude? Yeah, and I'm interested in seeing South Carolina, NC State a little bit. I want to see South Carolina State again. I'm sorry, South Carolina against North Carolina State. I want to see South Carolina play. But that late game should be as must-see TV to me as it was against LSU. Are you watching, boys and girls? I'm curious. Is like, did you watch the other night? My phone was going crazy with people who was watching or who were watching. But the matchup. This is what Gino Auriemma said, because he sees this superstar matchup like historically, right? He says Magic and Bird. And I'm like, whoa. He says with Magic and Bird, TV all of a sudden started paying more attention. He's not wrong. He said those two particular players came on, and it just lit everything up, and it just took off from there. So the game needs some stars. It needs people that have the right personality, the right game, and we have that now. End quote. He's talking about Caitlin Clark, who leads the nation in scoring at 32 points and 9 assists per game, and he's talking about Paige Beckers, who was the National Player of the Year as a freshman. She got hurt. To your point, that was the only time they missed the Final Four. And they're back in the Final Four. They got a 7-person rotation. They're beat to heck, and he's got them back. This is the brand in the game.
It's the most overrated thing in college basketball is depth.
Is that right?
100%. Look at any game. You look at the NCAA tournament.
Oh yeah, how short the benches are.
Yep.
Yeah, but you get in foul trouble, you got nowhere to go. Like literally,
That's
he doesn't
everyone.
have bodies.
That's everyone.
No, usually you've got a body to throw out. You've got Quentin Webb. You've got Sebastian Forsling. You've got like the Lobo bench. They had body. They can go to Isaac Mushila. They can go to wherever. Right? He didn't have bodies. Like he literally doesn't have an 8th body to throw out there. They would have to go to 4 people. I hear what you're
Box
saying.
defense. Without the one, just the box.
Just the box. All right. Are you watching tonight? Because I think this is really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. And I everything logically says this should be a bigger deal than it was on Monday, but it doesn't even seem like half the deal. You know what I'm saying? Just as far as the buzz.
Well, and it's the LSU is easy to root against too.
So you had it. The
Like
feeling,
the
because
Kim
the paper
Mulkey,
says, yeah.
Angel, the way that those players were painted, it did come across as a national letter. Mulkey's one, you see her antics on the sideline, and so that's an easy thing for people to go, oof, that coach is crazy.
Corella DeVille.
Yeah, so that you see those things, and with Gino Auriemma, I don't think anyone dislikes UConn. It was just, it's UConn again.
Well, I think they like UConn the way
So
they
good.
I think people dislike UConn the way they dislike dynasties, right? The way they dislike the Patriots, or they dislike Duke, or people are like, yeah, whatever, right? If they have a feeling, and I think there's plenty of people who just don't have a feeling. They don't know how to feel about women's basketball. They're like, why? What's going on? I guess I got to see it. Everybody's been talking about it. There's a buzz about this. I really need to see this. All right. Are you watching tonight? 505-246-0610. Are you going out and you got dinner? I mean, that's cool. We all do. 9 o'clock or no, 7 o'clock game. 7 o'clock tonight. And because everything to me, logically, says this should be a bigger deal than what I watched on Monday. And what I watched on Monday was a huge deal.
It's going to be a fantastic weekend. This is something that college sports desperately needed, is to have a weekend like this of where we're not looking at it going, well, but, or, what, this broke and that's broken. And we can just, for a moment, watch 4 straight days of the best basketball you're going to see.
Yeah, we'll get into the men when we get back, because the spreads are big. Could we just kind of see a flop of a Saturday leading up to what everybody wants to see on Monday? That's possible. I'll tell you why I don't think so next. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunkler here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't
season, the Masters, and then the NBA playoffs start. The Stanley Cup playoffs are going to be underway as well. Just the beauty of the American sports calendar, the way it just flows like that. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. The men's final will be on Saturday. The semifinal will be on Saturday, and then the final on Monday. And it is in Phoenix or over in Glendale, Arizona. All right, do you think the two spreads are really big, JJ? Alabama's an 11.5-point dog to UConn. UConn hadn't played a single-digit game, and I can't tell you the last time. And North Carolina State and Purdue, that spread's 9.5. But what the odds makers are telling us is neither game is going to be particularly close. NC State's a Cinderella. You got Zach Edey. They've been dominant. You've got UConn, who is just different. and they're going to roll. Do you buy into that's how this is going to play?
If I was looking at one team to cover, I would lean North Carolina State.
100%.
But I think Alabama, it comes down to if they hit threes, that's a different game. But what the run UConn is on, I know last year doesn't necessarily mean anything for this season, but that is 10 straight
That's right.
NCAA tournament games with double-digit victories for UConn, which is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Yeah. No, it's flat out ridiculous. And you look at what UConn's doing and how they're doing it and to whom they're doing it. And we got the people calling in here after they beat San Diego State, and it was, we'll see San Diego State doesn't belong there, and see. And then they went out and beat Illinois like a drum 77-52 and went on a 30-0 run. Their games in this tournament, 91-52 over Stetson. All right, it's a 1-16 game. Well, then they played a good Northwestern team, 75-58. What is that? That's 25 minus 8 is 17 points. Then they beat the Aztecs 82-52 by 30. They beat the Illini 77-52 by 25. In fact, you go back to their regular season. They played St. John's, their second to last regular season game. They won 95-90. But other than that, JJ, they ended the regular season. They beat Marquette 73-57. That is what? 16 points. They had this 5-point St. John's game. They beat Xavier, 87-60. Providence 74-60 by 14. Marquette then by 7. They beat Seton Hall, who just won the NIT yesterday, by 30. They beat Villanova 78-54. 85-66 over Creighton. 81-53 over Marquette. Like, JJ, in the last calendar year, I think they played 2 single-digit games, maybe 3. Literally since the calendar flipped. They're dominant. I think they win this thing. I think it's going to be tough for Bama to cover. I think NC State can hang with Purdue for a while. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle Zach Edey and how Zach Edey handles them, because DJ Burns, they run so much through DJ Burns down low, JJ, offensively. And I'm interested to see, A, how are they going to defend? But B,
high post. I'm putting DJ Burns in the high post, taking Edey away from the basketball.
If Edey's in fact guarding him, right? And try to get him away. But see,
there's no one else for Edey to guard.
Fair enough. So Burns is so good with his back to the basket. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they get their points. But I think this is me, and you know where I am on betting. I although I did all right in football. If you want to go against me, I like UConn to cover just because they've been covering. I do. I think Alabama's really athletic and is going to try to run up and down with them. And this is going to be interesting. I think Alabama stays with them for a while. Then again, San Diego State stayed with them for a while, right? San Diego State was within 4 points with a minute and a half to go in the first half, right? And they lost by 30. I do believe Alabama stays with them for a while, don't you?
Yeah, you can't just look at this, say Alabama has no chance when offensively they're averaging 90 points per game. The 3-point shooting is the ultimate game changer for them. They're a team that hits the second most threes in college basketball this season. That's going to be their game. They're going to try to play fast, put up a bunch of shots. Mark Sears is an ISO menace right now for them, and that's their game. And they're not going to try to hide it. Alabama plays a lot like Iowa on the women's side. Like, hey, we're going to play fast, shoot a lot of threes, and if it's working, it's going to give us. It's going to be hard to keep up with us.
Is Tristan Newton guard Sears? Is that what they do?
I'm sure that he'll get time on him. You'll probably see a couple guys just mix and match throughout the course of a game, and then if it's close and it's that time where UConn is trying to make that final run or close the game out, they'll put their best perimeter defender on him.
Sears is good. If you haven't watched him, he's a terrific player, Carter. He's a terrific player. He does everything, Carter. He can get to the basket, get to the rim, Carter. He's a terrific player. He makes everybody better, Carter. He's really, really good. I think they'll flirt with that 11.5.
Well, if you look at Sears, he's just one of 2 players in the country scoring 20 points per game on 50% shooting and 40% from 3. Those are really good numbers for a ball-dominant guard.
Yeah, really good numbers, actually. And then there's UConn who's just steady and they just get everything done. I mean, they shoot the ball well. They control the ball. They don't turn it over. They go to Klingon when they need to. Newton does his thing from the outside. They're just bludgeoning people. They're just bludgeoning people. If they win this, I think it would be their 5th or 6th of the century. Like they're the team of the century, aren't they so far? And we're almost a quarter of the century through.
Weird when we kind of go through our basics of who are the household names and what is a marquee team and all this. It's UConn. Like they're in that conversation with Duke, with any of the teams you want to throw out there as the mainstays in college basketball. UConn is there now. Now it might not go back to the 90s and 80s with the Huskies, but for them, they have done so much over the last 24 years.
They're also, if you think of the brands, and so who would you say are the brands in this century college basketball? It's Duke, Kansas, them, whatever order you want to put it in, right? Carolina?
Yeah, Carolina is always the one that's going to hit big.
Does Gonzaga count, even though you have to win a championship to be a brand?
I think Gonzaga's a brand. They're kind of Cubs-like.
Okay. So they won the title in 99. This is Connecticut. 99, 2004, 2011, 2014, 2023. So I know 99 doesn't count. But
it's close enough.
I mean, it kind of is so close.
Party like it's 1999.
This would be their 5th, not including 99. Okay. And they had that down spell, right? Remember they had like between Kevin Ollie was their coach, right? Where they just weren't very good right before Danny Hurley took over. After Jim Calhoun left, I believe it was Kevin Ollie, if I'm not mistaken. And they had that downturn. You think of the brands, not many of the brands have had, like, they were really down. The Kevin Ollie era was 2012 through 18. And they just weren't good. He was fired for cause for an NCAA investigation. But his first season, they went 20-10. They were banned from postseason. His second year, they made the tournament. And he became the first UConn coach outside of Jim Calhoun to get to the Final Four. So even then, they did get to the Final Four.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, the down years, you just got to the Final Four.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess I'm wrong, dude, because he
had
won.
Success.
He won the NCAA. He won the title in 2014. They beat Kentucky then.
That's why that story was.
Yeah. I'm remembering it now.
Some of it was, UConn finding a way to fire him for a cause. People were like, yeah, they were, because you look at 16, 17, 18, they were below 500 3 of those years.
Yeah, then
that's where they're like, oh, we need to get out of this.
Yeah, and we found cause.
Yeah.
They were the first 7 seed ever to win the NCAA tournament. That was when they were in the American. That was before they went back to the Big East. Damn, dude.
Oh, that was the Shabazz Napier squad.
Yeah, but I forgot Kevin Ollie won a championship. It was all Jim Calhoun and Danny Hurley, but yeah, Kevin Ollie won one. This would be their 5th this century and 6th if you include 1990. Well, 6 overall, starting in 1999. Yeah, dude, they've been the last 25 years, 6 in 25 years. I mean, I don't know how you define dynastic or what a dynasty is, but if they repeat, 6 out of 25 is that's a pretty good clip, isn't it? More than 20%. Freaking UConn. I mean, I don't know. Who you got? Are you laying the points? You taking the points? Where are you going? 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. When we come back, it's starting to looking like Tiger's going to play, but can he? Nota Begay, his buddy, Albuquerque native, four-time winner on the PGA Tour, and NBC and Golf Channel analyst, tells you what he thinks and gives you the latest on the injuries and the health of Tiger Woods. And can he walk that course for 4 days? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Masters is next week, too. You just roll right into it. It'll be tough to play today, though. It's like 50-mile-an-hour winds today.
I gotta lay down the basketball hoop.
Yeah, I got. Do you really?
I do that for sure. When it has gusty days like this,
Yeah.
lay it down.
Because that thing just blows. Yeah, you don't need it firing down the street and into somebody.
Yeah, we don't need a State Farm commercial.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Who's that? Which one is it? Is Chaos, right? All indications are, and I appreciate, was this, who sent this to me? Was it Carl? Yeah, Carl sent this to me. Well, actually, so he sent me this story that Nota Begay put out. And then Dan just said on the Big Cat, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and departed Dion Colon. Next week, OD's phone lines are going to be blowing up. They're going to be asking for Masters scores updates. When does the excitement end if they need to send the van to pick him up because he's broken down on the back stretch again? I think, well, and I need your perspective because I'm deeper in this. So I think because A, it's the Masters, B, it's a major, and it's the first major. And because if there's a benefit to this PGA Live split, and I don't know that there is, the benefit might be that, well, all these guys are actually playing together this week. I want to watch. I want to see Scheffler play against Brooksy. I want to see John Rahm again. I forgot what he looked like. I want to see Dustin, like, right?
I forgot what he looked like.
Right. I want to see these guys play. And so even if Tiger's there, I think the Masters is still a pretty big deal next week, don't you?
Yes, I believe the majority understands where Tiger Woods is. That he has a body that has been pieced together, that has been rebuilt through injuries, through a major accident. And we're always going to have that what if when he takes the course. Because here's the thing. Tiger Woods, at his age, looks different.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods looks like the guy when you go to the gym, you're like, man, I hope I look like that dude. I hope I can put in the work like that. And so here's the thing. We know that his body can let him down, but he passes the eye test. And it's not just like one of the guys that goes out there and hits the ceremonial, tee and just barely swings. You're like, whew, it's one of the great ones. Thanks. Like, so you always just have that almost like you're almost catfish by Tiger Woods. Because you just see him and he looks good, but then you just realize, oh, that body's been through so much.
Well, we remember what he was, and he's the best we've ever seen. Most of us, right? I mean, some of you are going to go back to Nicklaus, and that's cool. But for most of us, he's the best we've ever seen.
And he looks the part still.
Yeah.
But we know.
And his swing is still that.
We know, like, it looks the part. And you're like, man, you got a great paint job on this. And you're like, well, yeah, the engine is, haven't rebuilt it. It's got 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah, here, go try to start it. Yeah. I think that's a really good analogy. And then every once in a while, he gets you, oh, did you see that shot? Because he pulls something off. Well, he was in trouble, first of all, and then he pulls off a great shot. Or he hits an approach, and you're like, oh, only Tiger can do that, right? Tiger's 48 years old. Tiger's a reconstructed 48 years old. Like 48 years old, and so those of you who are there, you're kind of going, yeah, my back hurts. It hurts getting out. Yeah. Now think of what he's put his body through. Jeff, it's only golf. Okay. And then all the injuries and the accident. So Nota Begay, the former Albuquerque Academy dual athlete, makes his residence here in Albuquerque, and there's a story in USA Today on Nota, who's now a Golf Channel analyst and works for NBC, and is good friends and former teammates with Tiger. This is I'll give you a few quotes because he's worried about, can Tiger's body hold up? And if anybody would know, right, outside of Tiger, it'd be Nota, don't you think?
Yes.
Quote Nota Begay, he's trying to formulate a strategy and approach that he can work within given the constraints that he's presented with, and he's got some constraints. He's got zero mobility in that left ankle and really has low back challenges, which he knew he was going to have. That was, end quote. He was at a golf tournament, one of Nota's youth tournaments where Charlie was playing. And according to Nota, Tiger said, quote, my ankle doesn't move, so something's going to take the stress. I mean, the stress is going to transfer somewhere else. Well, you think about that. My ankle doesn't move.
So that's his lead leg, right? His left ankle.
I believe that's right. I don't know which one it is.
Oh, I thought you made it specific. And then the low back.
Yeah, it is left. You're right. He's got zero mobility in that left ankle. Yes, you're right. So that's so where all your weight transfers onto that.
So if you think about that, if you're just standing wherever you are right now, practice your swing. If your ankle doesn't move, that's that's extra stress on your knee.
Your knee, right, your back, your hip. If you can't put the weight on your ankle,
how are you supposed to get?
Plus, walk the golf course. So Tiger knew he was going to have knee and hip pain, I guess. And that's the back is what took him off the golf course at the Genesis. And you know about the accident in 2021. Noda continued, for the past couple months, he's been trying to find a way to recover. He can play golf. We always knew the question was going to be, can he walk 72 holes? That's still up in the air. But can he recover from one round to the next? That's the biggest question that I really don't know, and he's not going to know either until he gets out there and figures out whether he is prepared for this year's Masters and it's going to work for him. That's a quote from Noda Begay. If you put him in a golf cart, and you're not going to because the PGA doesn't, and you can go all the way back to the Casey Martin stuff, another one of their teammates, by the way. I believe Casey's still a golf coach at Oregon, but their teammate who's got a condition where it makes it difficult for him to walk, great golfer, Casey Martin, but they would not make an exception for him to have a cart, and nor are they going to for Tiger Woods. And I don't think Tiger would ever do that. They said, you know what, we'll make it except Tiger can have a cart. He would say no way. So he's 48 years old. He's reconstructed. He's been through everything that his body's been through. I mean, the odds aren't, does he make the weekend? The odds are, does he tap out, right? It sounds like he's going to play. If he makes the weekend, it's a win-win for everybody except for probably him because he's got to play 2 more rounds and walk that golf course for 2 more rounds.
Oh, not enough ibuprofen.
I mean, whatever it is you're taking, man. What's that stuff that Shaq hawks?
Icy hot?
Icy hot? Yeah, maybe that's it. I mean, we're all watching. We're all going to watch Tiger. We all want to see it. But I think he's kind of gone from the attraction to an attraction, if that makes any sense to you. Kenny Thomas is going to be here at 9 o'clock. We'll talk some hoops. We'll kick it with Kenny. 505-246-0610. Masters next week, and you're already in on the Big Cat on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Sound.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Surprisingly great rates?
Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
The OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Final Four weekend. What's up, and Merry Friday. No April Fools. First weekend of the second quarter. Second quarter of the year already, man. Final Four tonight for the ladies. You'll get North Carolina State and South Carolina. Iowa and UConn. Iowa and UConn, to me, and it's not getting the buzz, and I again, I'll say it again. Caitlin Clark, what's the word I'm looking for? She transcends sports. The transcending young lady from Iowa, who we all watched on Monday, and it feels like that was a bigger game than this because they were playing Angel Reese and LSU, but this is UConn for crying out loud.
Let's be the buzz then.
Well, I mean,
let's be the buzz.
Like the buzz to me is bigger on this. Like it's a bigger stage. It's a Final Four against the behemoth in the sport, and I understand LSU was the defending champ, and Caitlin Clark had a history with that specific group, and so I'm not telling you there shouldn't have been a buzz on Monday, right? Because there was the rivalry, or whether it's fabricated or not. And Angel Reese said, we don't dislike each other. There's no rivalry. It kind of is. You beat her last year. You beat them last year. You did the ring gesture and the I can't see you gesture. And so I get that rivalry. No, and there should be. And rivalries are good, by the way.
Yes. I think once people start watching this game, which Iowa, UConn, it's 2.5 point spread in favor of the Hawkeyes, up and down, back and forth, good basketball, they're going to buy in. It's the same thing we're talking about. It's the Warriors and Lakers versus the Kings and Pelicans. It's like you're going to lean towards the storylines that you know.
That's right.
And UConn's a known name, but people don't know the players. If you ask anyone about UConn, just sports fan 101, they're going to tell you Gino Auriemma. As good as Paige Beckers is, this is probably the first week.
They'll still say Rebecca Lobo.
Not 90% of our audience has heard her name.
I think that's 1,000% right. But by the same token, everybody knows UConn's men are rolling through the tournament. How many people can name you one, let alone two people on that team?
And I really think that, honestly, with college basketball, we've had players hit, but it's not like the stars. I think the stars matter more for women's basketball than it does college basketball.
Yeah, I think that's probably right too. I'm into it. Are you into it? 505-246-0610. Let's go. Earl, good morning. Happy Friday. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So, listen, I'm calling because I'm a fan of the show, and I love listening to you guys. I'm actually only in Albuquerque, 4 days a week, and every time I am gone, I miss you guys. But anyways, I love this discussion you're having about golf, and just to give a little brief background, when I was in high school and my first couple of years in college, I was a cart boy. I was never a good golfer, but I was always around golf.
Yeah.
Would even close up the golf shop. And so I'm 51, And back in those days when I was in high school, people were already talking about Tiger Woods. When he was in high school, every golf pro I know, which was, they were, oh, my God, check out this guy in high school. And then he showed up, and he won everything right away. We didn't have to wait to see. I mean, he just started winning, and he definitely dominated. I've never seen anything like it again. But then he kind of got old, and then his personal life, with his wife, and I don't want to go into that, but all of those things are very taxing, in my opinion, and I don't think we'll never see the Tiger Woods that we knew.
Of course not.
And I don't think that he's going to be around. And then, I'd love to see it, though. And I would support it. I would love him for going out there and winning something, but I just don't see it, And I want to say two other things about this golf conversation in New Mexico. The Nota Begay, one thing that I've also recognized, because my daughters played school at La Cueva, they played at Desert Ridge Middle School. And speaking of that, the coach that my daughter had was Coach Milliken, the UNM head coach. He went out there as a local head coach and went out there and taught girls at Desert Ridge. He went out there and taught girls at La Cueva High School, and I was very blessed to have that type of coach my daughters. And it's really sad that we lost the true,
totally
just an incredible coach and part of the community for New Mexico. And I was sad to see him go. So anyways, I just want you to know I loved him being in New Mexico. But the other side of that is Nota Begay, the Nota Begay 3, or I think that's what it's called. He does it out at Ladera for the kids. And as my kids were growing up, I saw what Nota Begay was doing for the kids here in New Mexico. And it's unbelievable what he does to teach these kids to play golf. And it's ongoing. He's got a crew of people that does it. And so whoever's doing that, I love seeing it. And that's really the extent of what I wanted to talk to you guys about.
No, and I can't agree with you more on what Nota's done. What Glenn was... people didn't realize how in the community Glenn was, and Nota is there as well. And Earl, I appreciate the call. And hey, when you're out of town, you can find us. Download the Sports Animal app, and you can listen wherever you like. We got people do it in San Diego and Texas and all over the place. And appreciate the kind words. And don't be a stranger. All right.
Hey man, thanks for taking my call.
No, appreciate you. Thank you. Really good stuff. Look, the golf community here. And JJ, you've heard me talk about this because Addie was playing in my daughter was playing junior PGA. I watched them. I know a lot of the pros. I'm just going to tell you, in the next X number of years, whatever it is, you're going to see some studs come out of here. And you saw the young man out of Siebolitz at Oregon, Aiden Kraft, who's by the way, as a freshman, went up to Oregon and had a sensational freshman year.
How could he leave New Mexico? Jeez.
He wasn't recruited, actually. UNM. He not prioritized.
Because you know what? Sometimes they know.
Yeah. Well, look, Aiden's a great kid, and he's up at Oregon. And he went to the NCAA championships as a freshman. But some of the, not just the pros kids, but the pros who have had kids. Remember the name Jake Urini, Don Urini, the head pro at Canyon Club. His son. Nick Nee's son I showed you he had his first hole-in-one the other day. Nick's going to start joining us on the 19th every Friday.
I hope it can rub off some of these other kids.
On your kid.
I got a San Diego Cub who's itching to get back out there again.
I'm just telling you, the young golfers, both boys and girls, are terrific here. And it's in large part because of what Earl just said. Nota's been in the community. Nota's been given back to this community, and he doesn't go out looking for all the publicity. He's out growing this game. And then I think, JJ, a lot of kids just went out. Golf is cool. Was golf cool when you were a kid? When you were in high school, was golf cool?
Well, I wouldn't say I could answer that question because I wasn't cool, and I liked golf, and I grew up with it. My dad was like you. Yeah. He'd be watching on the weekends, and I'd be sitting there like, what are we doing, Dad? Why are we watching this?
My granddad. That was my granddad. We go over there on Sundays.
So I was always the one. I was actually always like, let's go. I want to go to the driving range or something. And so I was that weird, not cool kid that liked golf.
So yeah, my granddad took me out when I was 8. He had these games on Sundays with his buddies, with Phil and Paul, and we'd go up there. And I remember it was awesome. And that's how I learned how to swing. And I wish, and I've said this a number of times, there's a few things. I don't have a lot of regrets. I wish I would have played baseball in high school. I gave it up. And
to become a pole vaulter?
To become a pole vaulter, yeah. I did. And I wish I would have taken golf seriously more when I was a kid. It just wasn't, it was whatever. Those guys are playing golf. I mean, whatever, golf. And then I realized, God, I really love golf. And I'm still bad at it. I'm really
It can be a major help for you in the business world.
Let me just tell you. That's why. So Addie played until she aged out of junior PGA. And she got into running and weightlifting and lacrosse and whatever. She found what she loves. But I told
sports.
Okay. But different sports certainly. But she stays acquainted with the clubs. Like I told her a couple times a year, I want you to go out and hit balls, because I think first of all, a woman in business that can play golf with the boys is go out and play in these scrambles and do. I make more deals on the golf course than anywhere else. And so we went out. I don't know if it was her last birthday or the birthday before. She hadn't hit the ball, and it had been about a year. She hadn't picked up club. Dad, let's go to Top Golf. So we did a little birthday thing, and a bunch of her friends out there. And she kind of had muscle memory on the way Shelly had taught her, and she has she was taught the right way. Her grip, her stance, like she has a great swing. Well, now she became an athlete, right? When she was doing that, she wasn't really working out. My kid's solid now. The ball popped off her club head she hit her first ball and she looked at me with whoa, what was that? I never hit it like that. If she would have hit it like that, she might have stayed playing golf. All of a sudden now she's an athlete, and it proved to me a point that we've had the conversation so many times. Are golfers athletes? And when she was just a kid playing golf, she never hit the ball like that. Now, dude, she's an athlete. She runs and on a state championship team and lacrosse, whatever. But now that she's athletic and powerful, the ball popped off of her club face. It was unbelievable. And remember when she was hurt a year ago, and she said, Dad, if I don't get cleared to play lacrosse, I want to play golf again. So the whole point is back to Earl's call. The golf community here has really taken it seriously. You're going to see some stud golfers, men and women, come out of here in the next 5 to 10 years. And maybe even sooner. I can't wait if Austin plays, and it sounds like he kind of likes it. When you get into that circuit a little bit and start going out and seeing some of the players out there, some of the swings, you're just gonna go, damn, this is really cool. You're gonna love. I envy that a lot. I hope you get into that. All right, Earl, that was actually really cool. Went down a rabbit hole I didn't know that I was going down. 505-246-0610. When we get back, I want to get into the Rashee Rice thing, because the Chiefs receiver was driving one of those vehicles, as you kind of thought. What did he say, and what's next? Kenny Thomas is going to be with us. Coming up, we'll kick it with Kenny at 9 o'clock this morning, and we'll hoe at some point today, too. You know why? Because it's Friday. International Protective Service is taking security to a whole new level, literally a whole new level, like up in the air. For 18 years now, IPS has offered standing guards, 24-hour patrols to protect homes and businesses in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. They just recently launched in Santa Fe. But now IPS Global Aviation is using a fleet of drones with high-definition cameras and analytics software to exceed your security expectations. So with these drones, IPS will monitor your next event or track emergency response. They can follow criminal activity that you just flat out can't see as well from the ground. The drones include thermal imaging, so IPS will help with eyes in the sky during the wildfire season. It's unmatched ability to watch from the air. On the ground, IPS continues to use highly trained armed officers to watch your home and business. That means a whole lot to all of us. They install cameras. They monitor the cameras around the clock. That deters criminal activity around your property. They even offer personal bodyguards if there's a threat to your safety. So if you've got a security issue, IPS has you covered. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're at ipsglobal.com. That ipsglobal.com. IPS, passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often,
I guess my child was listening to our show on the way to school today. She said, "Dad, about the golf might be a prep school kid thing, but all the cool guys are ditching class to get around in at Tanawan. Golf is in capital letters cool. They're ditching. Well, they're seniors now. I mean, does it matter at this point? But just like her point is, the cool guys, yep, they're all ditching." I guess the boys who are cool, I don't even know what that means. But I know it's, look, go to any golf course, dude. You can't get a tee time. Does that help with the perspective? She said the cool guys are going ditching school to go play golf. You should ditch work to go play golf.
Can I just leave now?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll run the floor.
It's crazy out there.
Yeah. Well, today, yeah. All right, opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. All right, there's a little bit more, what's the word, progress, a little more information, a little furthering of the story on that 6-vehicle car crash in Dallas that happened this week that led to the search for Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. Dallas Morning News is reporting all this, but Rice did release a statement on social media Wednesday, and he apologized for it. I think I read you this one yesterday. Today I met with police department investigators. I take full responsibility for my part in this matter, and I'll continue to cooperate with the necessary authorities. I sincerely apologize to everyone impacted in Saturday's accident. Okay. His lawyer did come out and say that Rashee Rice was driving the car. And so now we'll see where this goes, right? But the lawyer said Rashee was driving the Lamborghini. He says, why did he leave the crash? This is his attorney. That's a good question that's still being investigated. Okay. The attorney, whose name is, what is his name? West. What's his first name? His first name is Royce West. Quote, he's a young man that made a mistake. He said that Rice's heart goes out to those who are injured. And that's what he said. It was the Lamborghini. It was a Lamborghini Urus. $250,000 car? The driver of the Corvette left also. All right. He had nowhere to go. If he was driving the car, you can't say I wasn't driving the car. I almost want to sit here and say, I appreciate that he came forward and said I was driving. But if they got you on tape, and video is everywhere. And JJ, I told you this. Like, have you ever been in one of? I've been over at City Hall here across the street. The former COO of the city showed me, like, he pulled up. He's like, look at this, dude. We got cameras everywhere. What intersection do you want to look at?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And he showed me, and I'm like, whoa, I had no idea. Okay. Like, they've got there's camera, and then you start driving around the city. Oh, there's a camera on that intersection. There's one on that spot. They've got them everywhere.
They're for light timing. They're for situations like that, everything.
100%. For traffic surveillance, all that stuff. And so there was no way that there wasn't video that clearly identified Rashee Rice sitting in the driver's seat of that vehicle if he was driving. And the attorney came out and said he was driving the vehicle.
So does leaving it makes it worse, but does him leaving the scene of the accident avoid him getting, I guess, arrested at that time?
I think what it does, so...
Like, if he crashed and they're like, what happened? And they figure out, like, oh, you're street racing. Do they immediately arrest him then? Or...
So, and I don't know that. I hate assuming this, okay? And so you have an accident. You stack your Lamborghini. I'm sure you're going, oh, bleep, what's going on? What am I going to do? I mean... Like Nicole's probably stacked her Lamborghini a few times.
Yeah,
Nicole.
several times.
Yeah. So where my mind goes, and this I hate this. He disappeared for 2 days. They can't test his blood alcohol level, right? They can't. If something was in his system, all of a sudden he leaves the scene of the accident. Yeah, that brings on new charges, right? He left the scene of the accident. There were 6 cars. I hate playing lawyer here, and I'll summon throw out the bat signal to some of our lawyers who are listening. So it brings on new charges, but what's a worse charge? Driving under the influence, and I hate that assumption, but why else are you leaving? So we'll get a little further. So not that you run a bar and grill and know any of this. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We got a sweet deal today. It is West Side Bar and Grill, and for $25, you get $50 to spend over at West Side Bar and Grill. All you got to do is go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Hit it right at 9 o'clock because that's when they go on sale. Click on the sweet deal icon, and you can go and enjoy the West Side's hottest spot. Every Wednesday, you've got karaoke night where are you karaoke here?
I am.
What's your song? Like, do you have a go-to?
Hopelessly Devoted.
Really? Will you sing it?
No.
You won't? I got to come out on Wednesday night and hear it. That's all right. Your spot's pretty cool, though, huh?
Yeah, it's really, really cool. We have 80 beers on tap, full service bar.
Man, you upped it.
friendly.
It says 75. Adrian put 75 on here. 80
I know,
now?
it upped
Hold
to
on,
80.
scratch this, Sam. All right, 80. What you add? You added some Coors Light and some Natty Light.
Oh, yeah. Well, we added a Corona. Corona got back in stock with our vendors. And then we also added a Dos Equis Amber so that we have
The Dos Equis Amber is delicious.
Yeah, it really is underrated, honestly, for those dark lagers.
Yeah. Is Modelo your biggest selling Mexican beer?
Modelo or our Dos Equis, honestly. Those ones go through so fast.
Everyone loves the Modelo now.
Yeah.
I was, total side story, and I appreciated this. I was on the golf course last week. And the group in front of me says, "Hey, let me buy you a drink." I'm like, "No, I'm cool." I was in the sand trap on number 3. A dude came running over, hands me 2 Modelos. I'm like, "Dude, that's so cool. Thank you." So then on number 10, we're waiting, and he takes off, and the guy comes out from the clubhouse and says, "Hey, the party in front of you wanted you. He bought me 2 more Modelos." Like,
wow.
I couldn't have been. Just my most recent Modelo story. Sorry, Nicole.
No, you're good. You're good. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Go ahead. So where are you? Where's your place?
Our place is at 2101-1 Visto East, Northwest. Yeah.
All right, so where is that?
That is between Unser and Ladera. There's it's like Ladera and then McLeod or Ladera. McLeod.
Well, you West Siders know where it is.
Yeah,
I say that. No, I love the
on
West
the
Siders.
east side of Unser.
Yeah,
Just north of the interstate. So if you're coming from, if you're
so
packing,
get off at Unser.
Yeah, if you're packing a lunch from your
or what if I had to
rent
rent the helicopter to fly in?
If you follow the interstate, north on Unser, it will be on your right side.
All right. So just get off. All right, you guys know where it is.
Yeah.
All right. What about
we will accept you into our hood.
Can I come out to your hood one day?
Absolutely. You need to come join us over on the west side.
You still haven't come?
I haven't been to your spot. I can't sit here and look you in the eye and lie to you. I want to tell you, oh yeah, no, I know that's the way that's supposed to go, dude. And I'm sorry, Adrian. I can't sit here and look you in the eye and say, oh yeah, I've been to your spot.
That's amazing.
I hear it's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what you get. And you're gonna have music back starting now for the summer.
Yeah, we just had our first band at the end of March, and then we're having another band called Echo Garden at the end of April.
Sweet.
And then end of May it's G String, and then we're welcoming back Monica and the Crew in June. So we're super excited to have all of our bands back. 2 of those are brand new bands.
I love that.
And so we're supporting all of our local artists.
Well, here's where we are now, right? It's April. I mean, after today, and he's got to lower his basket so it doesn't blow away in the wind. And the golf courses might not be as full on this Friday as they were last Friday.
Yeah.
But now you get the patio open. The weather's getting great. And so yours is the spot on the west side.
Yes, most definitely. That patio is just renovated. It has a full awning now, so it keeps everyone nice and shaded and cool.
Grub? You got a good menu?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What do we eat?
I would eat the barbecue mac burger.
Would you?
Yeah.
Barbecue mac burger?
Yeah. It's a patty with brisket and mac and cheese. It's delicious to die for.
Look at you over there. All right, so here's what you could do, West Side boy.
You want to come join me for lunch today, Jeff?
Yeah,
you won't be on the golf course.
I kind of do. I'm not going to play today. No, my toupee will blow off. My hair gets really, really in the wind like this. it goes all over the place. Yeah, I kind of do. All right, sweet deal. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. 9 o'clock for $25. You get $50 to spend over at West Side Bar and Grill, which is at
2101-1 Visto East.
Which I heard is Unser. So north of I-40 and go north is between Unser and Ladera.
Yeah,
that's everything I heard.
Yeah,
it is the spot on the west side, and they have 80, not 75 beers on tap. And I mean, just what the hell, the accuracy on this whole thing? What do I know? So we upgraded to 80. All right, we'll enjoy it. I will come by. Beautiful. I will. Not that it matters to you, but I'm not going to make my announcement. Hey, check me out. I will. And have a great summer with this place. Are you going to come by again? Is she coming by again? She's actually really pleasant.
Thank you.
She's over there like, yeah, that's right. I don't bring misery by you. I know. Enjoy the weekend. Who you got in the Final Four? You got basketball? Is that your thing?
No, unfortunately.
I'll give you something to
the
pick.
minute the Lobos lost, I was all,
Are you a Lobo?
Yes, I am a
Woof,
Lobo.
woof,
Woof, woof, woof.
You went to UNM?
I did. Yes, I graduated from UNM in 2020.
Sweet. Look at you staying home. Local talent. Look at the local talent staying home instead of taking off. I love that. All right. Enjoy Friday.
Thank
and
you.
Don't forget your sweet deal. SportsAnimalABQ.com. 9 o'clock. Click on the sweet deal icon. It's West Side Bar and Grill, $50, and it only costs you $25. To me, that's $25 worth of free. I don't know. It
Free
could be
beer,
Dos Equis Amber. It could be free barbecue, Mac burger with brisket, whatever it is. Go grub. Have fun. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
And it's on sale here in about 24 minutes.
Neba.
At Neba's.
Neba.
It's Neba. I should have done
Neba.
How did I?
Neba. Come on.
That's what I said. Neba.
Neba.
Neba. Neba's West Side Bar and Grill. All right, that's your sweet.
It's popping on Wednesday.
Is it? Because that's where everybody sings and she's out there singing? Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Garcia said, Jeff, how long does Errors, E-R-R-O-R-S, tour last? Jeff, when I was young, a young Garcia living in a small town, occasionally you'd have an establishment, have a going out of business sale, but it went on for like 3 years and it became a running joke around town. It seems that's how long Taylor Swift's tour has gone on. Dude, she can go on as long as she wants. I mean, how long does it? I don't know. 2 years, 3 years. Maybe she'll make a whole new era out of this. It's her world, man. Who makes the rules? She does. I've been to the Eras tour. That's right. That's right. I wore my friendship bracelets. I went with my little Swiftie kid.
Well, it is an era is a fixed point in time from which a series of years is reckoned.
Look at you, J.J. Webster. I like that.
So it's not just a year, it's an era.
His point is, well, a tour is just like, whatever. And she makes the rules. If her tour goes on 2 years, it goes on 2 damn years. If it goes on 7 years or 7 months. I don't know, Garcia. All I know is she's killing it. Gopher says Caitlin Clark equals Danica Patrick. Jeff, remember when Danica first started, she was cleaning up on NIL money? But her act wore thin when she really didn't do much to stand out on the field. Lots of players are stars in college. What happens if she goes to the WNBA next year, and after the initial hype, folks realize she's just another player? It's from Gopher. Let me tell you this.
There's been a lot of terrible women's basketball takes this week.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes that are just hung up on 15 minutes of fame. Like Caitlin Clark is not going to go to the NBA or WNBA and dominate right away.
Thank you.
As a lot of men don't immediately go into that league and dominate right away, but you can become good players. Like the fact that it's just so dismissive, man. Like Danica Patrick tried to race with the boys, right? That was the whole thing. And she's not doing that. She's going to go into the WNBA and try to be her own star. And I don't get the dismissiveness from so many of this trying to be like, I have the take of it. It's 15 minutes and then she's going to disappear. Well, that's also then on the WNBA to try to highlight their product and get you to care about it a little bit during the summer.
There's so much right there. And you're so right. Okay, couple things. Differences. Danica Patrick was the first woman driving with, well, not the first. She wasn't the first. There was before her. She was a woman playing in a men's league. She was a woman going and proving herself. And by the way, she competed. She didn't win a lot, but she competed with the men. JJ's point of Caitlin Clark is not going to go into the WNBA next year and be the best player in that league. She won't. She won't. Just like, and let me give you stars of the past. Zion Williamson was the best player in college basketball 3-4 years ago. He went to the NBA. Did he become the best player in the NBA? Did he disappear?
He did not.
did he disappear. It took LeBron quite some time to be the best player in the NBA, and he's the outlier. Victor Wembanyama, best player in the draft last year, and maybe that's not a fair comparison because he didn't play college basketball. You can't find me a man, and this is, I think, where you're going. You cannot find me a men's player who went from college basketball to his first year in the league and became the best player. You can't. She will not either. That doesn't mean she's disappearing. Will she be just another player? She'll be another good player. She may not be the best player ever in the WNBA. You know what she'll always be until someone else passes her? The leading scorer in the history of college basketball. If you don't like the Pete Maravich conversation, I'm not sure I do either, because I think they're different games, but it stands. JJ, I agree with you, and Gopher, I think I'm just going to disagree with your take. I'm not going to tell you it's.
Is it people upset that we're trying to make like women's sports a thing and enjoy it for a moment and say that there's a legit star or playmaker?
I think it's different. I don't know if it's uncomfortable. I just think it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not regular. You know,
for me, I am biased because it's been a huge part of my career. Is working with women's soccer, working with women's basketball, and being around it so much. I see everything that goes into it. I'm not trying to never sit here and tell you that it's anything other than what it is. It's like it's women's basketball. I'm not trying to shoehorn it in, and it's the whole kind of going back to our big three conversation. Like, to me, I don't need her to go play with a bunch of NBA has-beens to expand the game. Like, you have to take it for what it is, and I really do appreciate the amount of people that have been watching March Madness and going, well, you know what? These women's basketball players are putting on a show and excelling in their product.
I'm sorry, I laughed at the text I just read. What I've watched is undeniable. The crowds, the hysteria. You can tell me it's fabricated and it's all hyped by a network. I don't know, man. Is the network selling out the building? It's
also, that's the job of any entity that is running something.
All right,
to promote it.
Let me ask you this. ESPN, and again, I have to do this every time we have this conversation. I'm okay with it. I am a full-time employee of ESPN, so disclaimer. I do work for ESPN. But ESPN presenting women's sports, and specifically college basketball, the way they have, whether or not it's helped them, and it has, because they had 12.1 million viewers watching college basketball the other night. Don't you also believe it has helped women's college basketball, women's athletics overall? Is this been a self-serving prophecy for ESPN? Or has this been tremendous for the game and for these women and these student athletes who, by the way, because of this exposure, are benefiting from more NIL, from more people going to their games, from more excitement, from a different experience? Is ESPN profiting? I don't know the numbers, but I'm going to guess they are. And if they are, God bless them, because they invested in it. Tell me where I'm wrong, because I know I'm biased on that.
That's the circle of how things should work.
That everybody benefits?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're putting sports on TV, you want the impact from those sports, and then those sports in turn see the impact from the revenue.
Yeah. So Gopher, I'm going to go back to your email, and no, I don't think she's like Danica. I think it's different. She's competing at a high level of a women's game, where Danica did something which was also very, very special. She competed with the men. And by the way, she competed, man. Did she go away? I don't know. I mean, any more than any. Give me the male drivers of her era. Have you heard of them either? They went away. She went away. Like, that's how sports is, right? People have their time and they retire and they go away. I mean, give me the drivers of Danica's era when she was driving, and where are the rest of them? Where's, God
the only thing to that argument is just no one talks WNBA basketball. But that doesn't mean Clayton Clark will not be a good WNBA basketball player or just a flash in the pan. Yeah. Those are kind of two different things that we're hyper-focused on March Madness.
I will totally agree with you that she's bigger now than she will be in the WNBA, because I think the exposure of the women's college game more people give a damn they do about the WNBA. I just think so. It's in more markets. It's more national. It is. You got pick your town, and you've got a women's basketball team that you can watch if you want to. What are there, 12 WNBA teams?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're in this market, or if you're in Des Moines, or if you're in Iowa City where she is, you got to pick it. So it's not as accessible. And I think the popularity of the college women's game has made her a bigger star. So I'll buy that. She's bigger now than she might be in a year or two, but I don't think she goes away. And yeah, she might be just another player. Just like to your point, I think your point is so solid. It's just like the men, dude. The men's superstars in the college game go into the NBA or go overseas and they become just another player. Yeah, she's not going to go in and dominate women's basketball at the WNBA level. That doesn't make her irrelevant. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE.
Kenny Thomas in a few minutes. We'll kick it with Kenny, 505-246-0610. USC's got a new head coach, by the way. Eric Musselman left Arkansas to go to SC. And Aztec hired a Torero to be a Trojan. San Diego State athletic director, University of San Diego basketball player. They're at USC now. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, thanks for having me on. You know, I wanted to provide a little bit of a different insight into the popularity of golf, particularly in certain quarters of the population in New Mexico. So I know this is perhaps a bit anecdotal, and maybe it's a function of my age. I grew up in a blighted area, South Broadway, economically challenged and probably educationally challenged area there. And I know this was in the 70s, but my brother and I were always fascinated by tennis and golf and those kinds of sports. And when we would attempt to participate, we were ridiculed. There was a sort of a anthropological, sociological resentment because it was perceived as resentment. And that's a very real issue about certain kinds of participations with certain quarters of multi-generational Hispanics in New Mexico. That's very strange.
Does it still exist, do you think?
People try... What's that?
Is it still that way?
I think so. if certain populations try to dare do something that's perceived as elitist, or like tennis, for example, or golf, and forget that golf is also fairly expensive for folks that are on a fixed income or what have you. And by the way, you know, I'm very transparent, as you know. I love golf, and I always have. And Nicklaus was always my favorite golfer, and in my view, still the greatest of all time. I'm just simply saying that participation in these kinds of sports is sometimes presumed, and I'm not saying you do that, but we just assume people want to do it, and folks do, but in certain population segments, and it's probably like that with black communities in Mississippi and so forth as well, perceived as perhaps being Uncle Tom or too white mainstream. And I know this is a difficult issue to talk about, but it absolutely exists. I was ridiculed. My brother was ridiculed because we played tennis. And, you know, not very well, but we would dare to do that.
Right. Yeah, you've told me these stories.
This was Jimmy Connors and that era,
Borg
and the Jack Nicklaus era. But it's a real issue, and folks don't talk about that enough.
I think that's real.
I don't mean to be negative, but I just think it's an issue that's worthy of conversation.
Of course it is. No, I appreciate you. And
Thank you.
Thanks. No, it's a good perspective, right? I mean, it's what do you know? And like you just said, man, your dad was watching golf, so you kind of dug it. If it's not in your sphere, your family, your peer group, your environment. All right, kick it with Kenny when we get back. Final Fours this weekend, big NBA stuff over the weekend. And would he get upset if a dude was sitting on a bench wearing a T-shirt? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like and shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's ill.
Hey, Thomas, brought to you by Capital Ford on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Who's the new guy? What's your name again? Kenny Thomas?
K Tizzle. What's up? That's what Snoop Dogg called me when I met him for the first time.
Did he? Hey, what's up, Kenny Thomas?
Hey, what's up, my guys?
Good to see you in person.
Yeah, back in the studio. What's up, Albuquerque?
Kenny Thomas is here.
Live in the flesh.
Kicking it with Kenny. Hey, I want to start here. And I just put out a text to him, and it's not supposed to come out until tomorrow, but Magic Johnson put it out.
Yeah.
Hey, and I just got a text back from Michael Cooper.
Same here.
Did you get one back from him?
I texted him too. I heard it at breakfast.
Yeah.
Hey, we're both kind of important.
Look at us. We both got text from Michael Cooper, who's going to be tomorrow. He's in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to try to get him on.
That's huge.
Yeah, see if he'll come on with us. Dude, so long overdue.
Oh, man. Man, if it wasn't for Magic Johnson and James Worthy and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper, man, those guys changed the game. Obviously, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird had to come in and save the league, if you guys recall that. And thank God they did, because it gave me a chance to play in the NBA for 11 years, and I had a great career. And Michael was actually on the postgame show when he was in town. I texted him, and he came on the show, and it was good, man, just being able to have a guy like that around. And I was on his podcast last year, and it's pretty cool, man. Look at you texting and trying to get him on. It's not me, you guys. This is Jeff actually texting him to get him on.
I actually am. See if he's got some time here in the next hour or so to come on with it. I'm just so stoked for him. And so I'm of that era. I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Right. I was telling JJ the story. When I was playing high school ball, I had the drawstrings out of my shorts, just like he did. And I didn't know why. Do you know why he does it? I told the story this morning.
No, tell me.
I asked him years ago when he was coaching the Thunderbirds. I asked him, hey, so I always want to know why. He said his grandmother, when he was playing, his grandmother had some sort of an eye issue. And she was up in the stands. And so for her to be able to differentiate who Mike was.
Oh, wow.
He had his strings out of his shorts, and he just always wore them all the way through his career.
That's huge.
Cool
That's
story.
huge. That's really cool. I mean, that goes to show you how good of a person Michael Cooper is, right? And I got to bring this up because I thought it was hilarious, because I think it was Channel 4 did a poll of like the best Lobo players that ever play, and I'm pretty sure you saw that, right? Michael Cooper won, and I'm not surprised,
you okay
right?
with that?
I don't care, man. He's Michael Cooper. He's about to get inducted.
He's going into the Hall of Fame.
Bro, I can't top the Hall of Fame, but I do got some records here, but I can't top that Hall of Fame. And he got some rings. I do not have any of those.
Yeah, we kicked around yesterday. We saw Malachi Flynn, the former San Diego State guy, score 50. And he made records, right? He was like the third guy in the history of the NBA to come off the bench and score 50. He had the lowest scoring average of anybody that's ever scored 50. It really some cool stuff. And so we started saying, JJ asked me this morning, is he the only player in the Mountain West to ever score 50? We got to look up Paul George, because I don't think Jim ever did. And then we're like, so highest of any Lobo in the NBA, yours is 32. You scored 32 in a game once?
33.
33?
Twice.
Danny, I think, hit, what was it, JJ, 44?
Yeah, Danny Granger had 44 points.
In Indiana, right? I'm pretty sure, because the ball went through him.
Yeah, in the 09-10 season against Utah Jazz.
I think Luke's was like, the highest was 24 ever. Okay.
But yeah,
I could be second. That's cool.
Yeah, we think though, Malachi Flynn, which is crazy. How about that, dude? So what do you make of that? Is that a hole in one? Is that a guy just getting lucky once?
I don't know what a hole in one is, but I've come kind of close.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, I've had an ego, but that hole in one would be huge. The fact that somebody is able to come off the bench and it flows through them, that's huge. Because how
about a guy averaging 5.2 points a game and goes out and goes nuts one night?
Yeah, because obviously that's a smart coach, right? Comes off the bench, he's hot, you leave him in. You leave him in and you let him do his thing. But I think I've had 22 rebounds in the NBA too.
I wonder if Fluke.
I think I've done that twice.
I wonder if Fluke ever did that. He's Kenny Thomas. We're kicking it with Kenny.
And I have 1 triple-double.
In 11 years. See, that's pretty good. Who was it against?
The Lakers. Arco against Kobe Bryant.
What was the date?
I do not know that. I wish.
Against Kobe Bryant, though. Kenny Thomason, we're kicking with Kenny here on the Sports Animal. No, Kenny, you mentioned Michael Cooper and those guys that kind of came before you at UNM. Were there any other players, like when you were in high school, that you really looked up to, whether it was college or NBA at the time?
Great question, man. I got to give a shout out to my man, AJ Bramlett. Played at La Cueva. We played AAU ball together since we were like 12, 13. Remember Taman Domzowski, as you know.
From Roswell went to Duke.
I got to give him love. AJ went to Arizona. Taman went to Duke. Obviously, I came here to UNM. And then you got to think about our guards. I got to give a shout out to my boy Chris Gonzalez that played with AJ Bramlett, and Felix played with AJ. And then my guy Damon Jenkins, who was my point guard. And then I had Miguel Tittman. Those are some guys that are around Albuquerque that helped me and themselves make a path for us, because I don't think Albuquerque basketball, it was good, but I think at that point we might have taken it to the next level. You got the Baker brothers. I'm not trying to disrespect Greg Brown and those guys, but I feel like my era with AJ and the guys that I named, because I played with them and played against them, I felt like it was the first time to where like me and AJ played against each other, and it was televised throughout the whole state of New Mexico. So
I was just looking, that 22 rebound game for Kenny Thomas. Yeah. You know who he did it against too? Kobe Bryant. Kembe Mutombo.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
I'm not surprised.
Who was he playing with at that point?
I'm just kidding.
Was he with the Nuggets?
No, I was with the Sixers.
No, it was Dikembe. It was the Hawks. The Hawks.
So that means
you had 22 rebounds against Dikembe Mutombo. That's a good day, dude.
Bro, I got all that baby fat off. Remember I had that baby fat in college?
I don't remember that. I thought that was muscle.
I was a little bit more active.
It was a soft muscle.
Man, I had 22% body fat, man, in college, and then throughout the years it was coming down. People don't know this, but I used to have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go do cardio for an hour before school started, and then go back and do all the regular stuff that we had to do. Then I had somebody there watching me when I was on the bike, right? It was good.
You had to be babysat on the bike.
Oh man, it was good, but
thank all those people.
Man, it helped me. Coach Polson, who was the head strength coach over there.
Mark Polson was as good of a strength coach as, and look, we've had some good ones through here. Mark Polson was unbelievable.
Yeah, loved him. And then you got Dave Binder, who was the head trainer.
Yep.
And I just spoke to him like last week, actually. He's in Vegas. So there's a lot of people that helped me, put me on the map, and got me to where I wanted to be.
Hey, speaking of that, I don't think I've seen you since the state tournament. I ran into your old high school coach, Ron Garcia, at the state tournament too. Just a bunch of I was out at the state tournament, which you in DC always talks about how you say the state tournament's what kept you at UNM.
Yeah.
But I ran into all these former coaches, like Judge Chavez, a former football coach. Well, he still is. The Browns were out there. It was. It reminded me how great that tournament was. But yeah, I ran into him.
Yeah, man, those coaches and Coach Holzman, man.
I saw Jim Holzman about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I probably saw him around that time too. And man, he's still holding on, hanging in there. You can tell how strong that man is.
Yeah. And he still loves Albuquerque High now.
Talk about a pioneer, man. He set the way for so many people.
Do you know, he told me a story of, JJ, how the streets were named in Albuquerque? Like you know, how you got, no, literally, like he knows the guy's name who named the streets and why the mineral streets were what they were. And then you go up into the, if you're talking about naming streets, you've been around. No, man. Like Jim Holzman, it knows he's one of the most fascinating people, period.
Oh man, let me tell you something. This guy is so amazing. You know, he was a teacher teaching, right?
So every now and then, just recently, I want to say the last few months or maybe a little bit longer, one of his students reached out to me and said that Coach Holzman used to always talk about me and say how I was the probably the big man that made his life easy, right? Like people have told me that, and I got mad at him because when I came here, I had to shave my little peach fuzz on my face, man. And then I had to shave it, and then I had to wear those Daisy Duke shorts. And I'm like, yo, hey, we need to get a little bit more bigger shorts, man. So he changed it up, but I only had to shave one time. But yeah.
Because it didn't grow back for another 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It was barely coming in, and I'm in high school, and then the girls and everything. Come on, man.
You still got it. You still did all right.
Bulldog.
You still did all right. You still did all right. All right, before we go to break, because we've had a lot of golf conversation today, right? All right, you mentioned the hole in one. Would you rather? So, if you've never, and I don't know what your best score is.
My best score is at 82, and I shot it at a country club.
Would you rather get a hole in one or break 80?
I want to break 80. I'd rather break 80. I got to get in the sevens, man.
Yep.
That's my goal this summer.
Yep. We've had this conversation.
Billy Moya, you listening?
Yep. So I've never had a hole in one, and I broke. So the question is always, do you want to break that next threshold? I'm high 80s right now. I'm struggling. If I break 90 right now, I'm happy.
See what I was.
But I've shot 78s. I had a 72 one time.
Yeah.
Way back at Los Altos. So like to break 70.
72.
Yeah. I was stupid that day.
Man.
Yeah. No, the game was different that day, and then I followed it up with like a 94 the next day out. It was a different day, but I've never had a hole in one. But my brother goes, dude, I'd rather break 80, right? Shoot in the 70s, because that means anybody can get a hole in one. I tell the story. I've seen a dude make a hole in one, never got above his knees. He went 818 and shot 104.
Oh wow!
But he got an ace.
I've been there. I haven't been there lately, but I've been up there. I'm in the low 90s right now, but man, you gotta keep in mind if you're in the sevens, you're in the 70s.
You're a golfer.
Think about it. You're right there for a hole in one anyway, so it's gonna come. So I'd rather be in the 70s and rather than being in the 80s and 90s and possibly get a hole in one.
You want to talk some NBA when we get back?
Man, we can talk whatever you guys want.
Your Kings are sinking a little. They lost a big one last night, and we got 6 games left, man. And I want your thoughts. What do you think about this? I want to ask Kenny, does he want to see the Lakers get out of the 9-10 games so we might be – I know you're a Kings guy. But can we maybe
I'm a Houston guy, Kings guy, and a Sixers guy.
Houston had a tough night.
I just used to work for the Kings.
And would Kenny get upset if a dude was sitting on a bench wearing a T-shirt? It's the opening drive. Kicking it with Kenny on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Channel.
The Isotopes are moving this Saturday to 96.
Legal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong.
Podcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. Got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom!
Your surprisingly great race? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor,
Get a good main draw.
State Farm is
You
there.
do not want to see them.
I think that would be good, actually, as far as seeing the Lakers and the Warriors play. It's a chance that it's probably going to happen because of the whole play-in situation, right? And how these last 6 games or so play out. But the Lakers, the way that they've been playing and coming together, man, they're going to make some noise. And
They're going to get the Rockets or the Timberwolves or the Thunder in the first round.
oh yeah,
I'm sorry, the Nuggets or the Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah, Nuggets. But the way that OKC is playing right now, it's surprising. They're young and they're very gifted, and they're playing with some kind of passion from the standpoint to where they don't care who scores. Minnesota, I feel like, is doing the same thing. So the fact that those two teams are up there in the top 3, obviously the Nuggets, you expect it, but I'm real excited to see the Lakers and the Warriors, because once the postseason starts, it's a whole new season and it doesn't matter anymore.
What's the final week of the season like? It depends on where you're at, but if you're a team that you know, all right, we're probably going to be a playoff team, 4 or 5, whatever it may be, is it getting healthy? Is it lining yourself up, or is it just business as usual so you don't take your foot off the gas?
When I played, it was business as usual, right? You're trying to close out and win every game. Now, you got to play 65 games or so to actually get an award, 65 or 56, one of the two. I feel like guys are probably not going to play that much as the season is winding down, because they are getting ready for the postseason, especially if guys do have some injuries and different things like that. But 82 game season, man. That's 7 months out of the year. It's in and out. It's doing a lot of traveling. People don't understand. Like, it takes a real big toll on your body. So resting, but when it comes to the postseason, having a couple games in between, I think that's going to be a huge key factor.
Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal.
Speaking of the 76ers, Joel Embiid came back, and he said the other night, he's like, I didn't have to come back. It's like, all right, Joel. Like, here we go. Yes, you did have to come back. Yeah, you did. Well, what can that team be? Because the frustrating thing for Philadelphia, it feels like Joel has never been 100%. Yeah, you're going to be banged up at the season, but it feels like there's always something holding him and the 76ers back. So what kind of expectations should they have?
Well, when it comes to Joel, right, obviously injuries have played a huge factor. I feel like his offseason, how he comes prepared before the season, he needs to change it up and do some things different. Being a big fella, as big as he is, obviously the burden of his knees and different things like that, and all the minutes night in, night out is a huge factor. But watching the Sixers the other day, like Kyle Lowry, I feel like he's a great addition to where the Sixers are going. Tobias is playing some good ball right now, and they got some young fellas that are actually playing good. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Sixers come out in the postseason and how they finish the regular season.
All right, breaking news came down about 22 minutes ago. I'll read you the quote first on the Instagram. I've had a year with some ups and downs, but all added to growth for me as a man, student, and athlete.
Oh, man.
I've made the decision to enter the NBA draft while maintaining my college eligibility, and will also be entering the NCAA transfer portal. Thank you to USC for an amazing freshman year, and as always, thankful for my family, friends, doctors, athletic trainers, and fans for their support. Bronny James.
You scared me, man.
Who'd you think?
JT.
Oh.
You scared me, man.
Bronny James is entering the NBA draft and into the portal.
So I'm going to say not the transfer portal.
Yeah.
But the draft, JT and Dent should be doing the same exact thing. There's no penalties to get reviews from NBA teams now.
To just see where you are. I mean, Jalen did it. House did it 2 years ago.
Like 2 years
I get it. And what was the result for House?
He came back.
I mean, obviously, but is it one of those things to where obviously you're not going to go as high as you want, but do you still go?
Well, right? and where are you and what do you need? Like okay, I don't think Jalen House was doing it for the money, although everybody wants the NBA money, but right, I probably was going to make more NIL here than he would overseas. Bronny James isn't good. He doesn't need the money. Bronny James averaged 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds in 19 minutes a game at USC. It doesn't surprise me, and I'm going to guess more likely he will play college basketball next year and be in the portal. But are you surprised that Bronny James entered in the NBA draft?
No. He can do that.
Is he a pro?
That's a good question.
What's the answer?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer right now. 4 points, I don't know the answer. It's too soon. I do want to make this comment, right? Like I could have left after my freshman year, but I didn't leave. I could have left after my sophomore year. I didn't leave, right? I didn't jump into
and you weren't making
a
NIL.
situation. Yes, and I wasn't making NIL money. These kids get an opportunity to make NIL money and get their degrees. And every year you get closer to your degree, right? I feel like JT and Dent, I get it, taking a chance of like hopping in, but it's not one of those things that I can see them doing as far as like jumping into the whole NBA situation. I just don't see it.
What do you think?
Well, it's his last name is James.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be
first name's
overhyped.
LeBron.
And because LeBron wants to play with him, there's that sense of a team could just draft Bronny James to lure LeBron James to their franchise. Yeah. Bronny is not even a prospect where I'd look at and say, okay, I see it, a year or two from now. He had collapsed on the court with a heart condition before the season started. And I think LeBron has the way his narrative has changed about it is exceptional for the way he's handled it. Yeah, he put it out there and he said, "Oh, Bronny could play in the NBA right now." Yada yada yada. He's calmed down on that, and I think he realized that he's letting his son be his son. Anyone that's in a transfer portal could say the same exact thing, saying I'm declaring for the NBA draft, because they've changed the rules to where you can declare, and it just means you can have conversations, you can have workout with the NBA teams without losing your eligibility.
So let me ask you guys this. I'm a mid first round pick team, right? There's 32 teams in the NBA. I'm picking 15th, 20th, somewhere there. I'm the Knicks. I'm the Pacers. I'm New Orleans, somewhere there. I got needs. Draft comes around. Do I take Bronny James, figuring LeBron's going to come sign with me and play with me for a year or two?
Well, anything can happen, right? He's LeBron James.
Well, but he said he wants to play with his son.
But that doesn't mean he has to leave.
But
once he gets in the NBA, right?
But if someone else drafts the rights to his kid, I guess they could trade for Bronny.
Yes, you can trade right away.
What do you got to trade if you're the Lakers?
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's LeBron James. He's going to dictate what can be traded.
But what do you have to trade? What are your assets?
Watch this. There's a couple teams you can.
They're done giving all their damn future assets away when he's not going to be there. They've made it pretty clear they're tired of giving away the future because he's not going to be around.
They don't know that though.
Well, how long is he going to be there? He's 39 years old.
He can be there. Watch, LeBron's going to play as long as he wants.
That's right.
Obviously, right? So if his son comes into the league, say he's like 15 and later, right? Draft day, things could happen. You can incorporate 2 or 3 teams. Trust me, it's LeBron James. If he wants it done, it's gonna get done.
So you think he wants Bronny with the Lakers?
Well, everybody talks about it. Who really knows? Nobody.
But let's say I'm the Knicks, and I've been trying to get LeBron James there forever, and I'm drafting 17. I don't know where they're drafting. And I say, all right, I'm taking Bronny. I'm not giving up his rights. You want to play with him? Come play with us. We wanted you to play in New York.
And the Knicks is a huge market.
That's what I'm saying.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a market like that. That's another LA, man.
Or is it better for Bronny to go back for a year? And there's a lot of talk about this. And I've heard he wants to go to Ohio State. Duquesne is really interesting to me. Duquesne's coach that just retired. You're saying Duquesne in Pittsburgh. The coach just retired was a former coach of LeBron's, and now the new coach is like a former player, a former teammate of LeBron's. So it's a guy. Would he be better in a place like that, playing in the Atlantic 10, than high profile in LA in the same place as his dad is?
I feel like this is all a publicity stunt.
It might be.
Anyway.
Well, but he's going to play somewhere.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Like, how do you come up with a program like that, though?
Duquesne?
Yeah.
Simply because of the ties to LeBron.
Oh, you got a point. Okay.
Simply because his buddy, his former teammate, is the coach there.
Yeah. Hey.
No, I wouldn't just say, go to Louisiana Monroe and there's nothing there. No.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because there's ties. I've heard that. Where do you think is the best spot for him? Where do you think he lands?
Duquesne is fascinating.
Yeah.
It is. Ohio State. To me, this is one where he just needs to play another year of basketball.
I think so,
there was just so much, coming back from a heart issue that we've seen take away careers of athletes. For him to get back on the floor and just be playing a little bit is huge. And I think he just needs a full year next year just to do everything that goes into being a basketball player.
Yeah. All right. Good to see you. Let me redo this one real quick. I got a text before you go. It's from Dan. He says, let Kenny know that we appreciate him so much for giving back to the community, especially when he does his clinics in the rural areas where the student athletes might not ever get these opportunities. These clinics not only inspire young athletes, but stimulates parents to become more active with coaching and fundraising. It really makes a huge impact. Gracias, Kenny. Northern Nuevo Mexico loves you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I got to give a shout out to my senator, Leo Jaramillo up north. If it wasn't for him, some of these things I'm doing right now would not be happening. So I appreciate that. I'm totally interested in going out to the other communities as well. June 28th, I'm having a basketball tournament up in Roswell.
Nice.
Scully up there at the Military Institute is helping me. He's connecting us with the city. So yeah, hey, reach out to me on social media, Kenny Thomas NBA. I'm totally open to doing more in the community. Stay tuned. There's a lot more coming. And one last thing, my wine, KT Legacy Wines, is actually in Albertsons. It's in 15 Albertsons right now, all the way up in Santa Fe and up in Taos. So stay tuned. I will be doing some in-store appearances at these Albertsons, so follow me, and I will be posting about it.
This is how big Kenny is. He's on with TJ next Friday doing wine Friday, next 5 o'clock next Friday over on the Big Stick. TJ's like, you want to come on? Kenny's coming wine test. I'm like, dude, Friday, I'm going to hope I'm on the golf course next Friday.
Man, I'm jealous. Hey, but I'm here.
I'll call you then.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
I'm not gonna probably be in the 80s, but I don't know, man. I might show up,
We'll
show out.
We'll see. Because you and I, neither one of us is very good.
Hey, I can putt, bro.
All right, then.
I'm
Depends
telling you.
where. Like a Canyon Club, you know those greens? Like, I go to ACC and I didn't know those greens. I go down to Isleta and everything's, what am I? All right, good to see you.
Always,
Have a
man.
great weekend.
Thank you guys so much.
Just kicking it with Kenny. He is Kenny Thomas, and you are listening to The Opening Drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Travis Kelce.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp.
Give me a hoe if you got your funky mustang.
I feel lightheaded, but I feel like it's Friday now. What's up, dude?
Hey.
Kenny Thomas was good today.
Back in town, feeling good.
He'd rather break 80 than get a hole-in-one. I think that was what I got out of all that.
The key to that is how much golf you play.
I think it's fair. I mean, I'd love to get a hole-in-one, don't get me wrong, but I'd love to break the next special.
It's how much golf you play, the crew you run with. Because to me, I don't play enough golf to where I'm going to be like, I have to. I shoot in the 90s. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had a good day.
Yeah.
Like that's who I am.
Yeah.
But also a hole-in-one, like you can have that conversation with anyone and they understand that. If you go to someone and be like, I shot a 75,
like, yeah,
and then a golf person, they're like, that doesn't sound good at all. 75.
Yeah, that's a lot.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. Totally fair.
It's just like a party trick. Yeah, I got a hole-in-one one.
No, that's totally fair. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go to the phones. Edward, you're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
How art thou, my friends?
Art thou?
Thine
is.
Thought I'd throw some old English at you, and not the cologne, not the aftershave. One of my fondest memories of the NCAA Final Four is 1983, not because it was here in Albuquerque, which I think I shared with you. I think after Georgia and Louisville lost, I had friends that got into those games for like $15 to $20. The final game, NC State versus Houston. I remember being outside playing basketball, young crusher, working on his game, and my older relatives, huge sports fans, all I heard was hooting and hollering and yelling and excitement. So I went in to watch that game, and it was a dunk fest between Louisville and Houston in the semis. It was amazing. And, of course, we know the history behind the finals. You know what's even almost as amazing is, as I look at UConn, I think UConn's going to repeat. And I know you guys talked about this. You know who the last team to beat UConn in the NCAA tournament is?
New Mexico State.
The New Mexico State Aggies beat the champions from last year, the previous year, and that New Mexico State took down. That stuns me, quite honestly. And I'm a big fan of New Mexico State's former coach, and I'm a big fan of, what UConn has going on with Hurley. And my boy Jay Wright, who's the cleanest guy in the game with those $5,000 suits, I enjoyed the Villanova runs as well. But I think UConn's going to repeat. I think if there's an upset, it's going to happen in the Purdue-NC State game. But I think it's been a good tournament. I think a lot of it's been chalk, but it's been good. Last night I watched in the NBA, I watched Jokic, and it dawned on me. He should win his fourth straight MVP. I think Embiid should call him and give him the MVP from last year, but so be it. I look at Embiid, and I think I look at Joker, and I don't think I've seen a more equipped offensive player with every skill set in the last 30 years. He can shoot threes. He handles the ball. He can pass from the post. If he seals you on the post, it's over. There's no defense for him. And I'm not embellishing. And I think he's even more talented than some of our favorite players, and that includes LeBron and Kobe. And we can go back to Jordan's skill set early in his career. Jokic might be the most skilled offensive player that we've seen in the NBA the past 30 years.
Fair. It's not hyperbolic. I think, it sounds hyperbolic. And I know he doesn't look the part sometimes, and it took the world a long time to come around and get over the aesthetics, right? But you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Anyway, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the golf game. And by the way, last night in that game, I was 80% confident he was going to hit that three to win the game.
At the end of the game for Indiana State?
But,
for Indiana State. Yeah, just off the front rim.
Enjoy the games, my friends.
Right,
have a great weekend.
Yeah, it's good. Indiana State got beat in the NIT finals last night, 79-77 by Seton Hall. He said Jokic is the most skilled we've seen, Pickett. And I don't know that I think he's wrong. I mean, the one thing, he's not a great ball handler, but okay, fine. But everything else, and the way he's become a shooter and an unbelievable passer and a good defender and a rim protector, don't you think the aesthetics and where he was drafted, this is somewhat the Brock Purdy thing, although not to the same extreme, JJ, right? He wasn't a first-round guy out of a big-name university. He was a second-round guy out of Europe that nobody knew about. It took a long time, I think, for people to just come to grips with what their eyes were telling them.
Yes. And, Jokic, the skill, makes up for just not being as explosive, but that's fine. And watching him last night, he put on a show. The Nuggets do. They over this stretch, the last 7 games, they've been playing without Jamal Murray. They're being really cautious without Jamal Murray. Now, the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard, but they still have Paul George and James Harden on the floor. A home game in LA, and they held on to beat the Nuggets by 2. The Nuggets are special because of Jokic, the way that he plays. And that's why you just look at the Western Conference and you go, wow.
I mean, you can make an argument for probably 7 teams, right? 8 teams. I mean, if you want to make an argument for Golden State, you can. I got a problem seeing Sacramento, New Orleans winning the whole thing. I do.
I don't think New Orleans can get out of the Western Conference right now.
But I look at, you want to take the top 3. I mean, Minnesota.
Because to me, Anthony Edwards is good enough that he could have that team in the Western Conference Finals. Even Karl-Anthony Towns hasn't been playing.
Right.
And they're still the number 1 seed in the Western Conference.
Which surprises me.
Karl-Anthony Towns got hurt. We all expected that team
to
probably be 3 or 4
at the
end of the year.
Yep.
But Anthony Edwards is that good.
Oklahoma City's got a lot of talent. It's going to be really interesting to see how these young teams do against some of these veteran teams like the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Suns in the playoffs, because you can make an argument for the Clippers if they're healthy. You can make an argument for the top 3. You could make an argument for Phoenix.
I think the one, because some of the
Dallas is interesting.
Dallas can win 2 series because Kyrie and Luka are that good offensively. They can match anyone offensively in the NBA. Some of their drawback is, can they close out games on the defensive end when you have to? Because in the playoffs, to end series, you have to close out games on the defensive end.
I think that's right. I think that's right. And it intensifies defensively. It's like any other playoff, right? It really is. College basketball, hockey, pick it. I mean, everything intensifies as you get to the postseason. But you can make an argument. I mean, pick them. You can tell me Golden State's got a shooter's chance? Yeah, because they got the shooter. So they do. All right, we'll wrap it up when we come back. Everything you need to know as you go through your weekend. I've got we got the breaking news on Bronny. Again, we'll get that to you. Got a good email on Jim Holzman that I want to read to you as well. I want to tell you about On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Springtime's here. You're going to get a tax refund, I hope. Consider taking care of one of your biggest investments. It is your vehicle, and that's On the Spot Automotive Detailing, coming out and detailing your vehicle, taking care of that for you and making it look and feel and smell like it's brand new. They come to you where it's convenient and when it is convenient for you, and they are the best at what they do, and that's detailing your vehicle. That's why they reward Best of the City. They'll make sure your car looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. They also have window tint services. Helps you get ready for that summer heat, which is coming quickly. So make the move today. Visit OTSdetailing.com. You can schedule right there online. It's OTSdetailing.com.
This is former science with the.
I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Benally gets inside the paint. Benally slicing and dicing the defense.
Good steal there. Archuleta underneath the scoop shot, and he scores. Shake and bake there to the corner for the three. That looks good. Elijah Martinez.
Diego. Stolen away by Rodriguez. Sarton's on the run again. Pass up to Jason Montoya on the right side. Spin move is up. Shot is good.
In their defense. Kick out Otero. Defender went flying by. And Otero breaks the seal. First three of the night belongs to the Huskies.
to go. Here's Holland, who steals it away from Capital, getting double teamed. Here's Holland pushing his way forward and getting more points.
Working inside, got his man in the air, and there's a putback for Nico Gutierrez.
Eldorado right in this.
Eventually, that pass was going to get stolen. I saw that coming. They've ran the same play 3 straight possessions.
Anna Taylor was off the steal and
made him pay.
Puts it home. Nice shot by Anna Taylor.
Beautiful find inside, blocked by Hiron.
Got numbers.
Randall drives baseline. Cut off. That's great defense there. Benally off the quick pass. And you just can't stop these Matadors sometimes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Inside the paint, Benally slicing and dicing the defense.
You got to know, you got Final Four tonight. Ladies go tonight. North Carolina State, South Carolina, then Iowa and UConn. Really interested in watching Iowa and UConn. I know I should be interested in North Carolina State and South Carolina. I kind of want to see South Carolina a little bit, but I'll watch some of that Iowa and UConn game. Best of the game against the best of the game, really, over the last decade. Tomorrow you get the men, Bama and UConn, and NC State, Purdue. Breaking news this morning, Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, announced that he is entering into the NBA draft and into the transfer portal. So he's going to test the waters of the NBA, maintain his college eligibility, see where he might be in the draft, and if not, he'll go back to school and transfer away from USC. Of course, USC yesterday named Eric Musselman, the former Nevada coach, who then went on to Arkansas, coming back to the West Coast, where he went to school at University of San Diego, and he will be the head coach at USC. I think it's a great hire for SC, by the way. Somebody told me yesterday, if you want a guy that's there for maybe maximum 4 years, I'm like, if there's a spot, I think Muss will stay.
Cares?
Well, okay. First of all, I think that's
the transfer portal era. Fans, it hurts when a coach leaves. Coaches ain't staying somewhere 10 years.
Probably. And if there's a spot that Muss will finally settle, and look, Muss has been everywhere, from the CBA to the NBA to college basketball, like everywhere.
They don't call him the Muss bust for nothing.
That's right. He loads that thing up and goes. That feels like a spot he'd stay. And they can pay him. I think it's a great, I don't know that they could have done any better. And I would argue with you that they upgrade.
It's not a crazy argument.
I think Andy Enfield's fine, and like he made
Enfield did the same thing, parlayed it
into a lot more money.
Was it? He was Florida Gulf Coast, right?
He was Florida Gulf Coast. He was Dunk City. They beat Georgetown and San Diego State. Had that run, and he got the job at SC. Yeah, that's how he parlayed into that job.
SMU threw a ton of money at him because they're going to the ACC.
It's just a stepping stone job. Every job is a stepping stone job. Arkansas was a stepping stone for SC. SC was a stepping stone for SMU. UCLA's football was a stepping stone to be the offensive coordinator at where's Chip Kelly now? Michigan or something? Where'd he go?
Ohio State.
Ohio State? Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So UCLA's head football coach job was a stepping stone for him to be the offensive coordinator in the Big Ten. Every job is a
You don't want to be a head coach in the Big Ten, but he'll be an offensive coordinator.
You don't have to deal with all the crap. Congrats to Coop, says David. I believe it's the second Lobo to make it to the Hall of Fame with the GOAT Lobo Hooper Mel Daniels making it several years ago. Yeah, Mel Daniels went in 2012. Bad Street said, reply to Candelaria Boulevard. I think what he was trying to say is when you went to a poor school like Bad Street did, you barely had money for putt-putt. No way you could afford to play real golf. Understood. John says on Jim Hulsman, hey, guys, I just want to give my 2 cents on Coach Hulsman. What a great man. I was lucky enough to take theory of basketball from him at UNM in like 96, and I just loved it. I was never able to play basketball, but I've always loved it, and he really made it even more special. He and I even had a little bit of a relationship outside of school. My last name caught his attention, and any time I would run into him outside of class, he would give me a hard time in a joking way about it and ask me how I was related to Fran Priscilla. We're fourth cousins, man. He was a really great person. I agree with Kenny Thomas on this. He still is a really great person. He hasn't passed. He still is a really great person. Kenny Thomas brought up the legendary Albuquerque High School coach, Jim Hulsman, and who I've gotten to know even more over the last bunch of years, and who I've got insane love for and respect. All right, we didn't hit this either. This surprised you, and again, I don't even know if anybody knew who Haley Van Lith was before Monday. She's the young lady at LSU who was chasing Caitlin Clark around. She transferred into LSU, and now she is transferring. We do have unlimited transfer now, right?
She is a 5th year.
Okay, so she'd be a graduate.
For her, it's a graduate, but everyone else, it's unlimited.
Yeah. I'm not sure anything surprises me anymore, but it caught my attention that she's leaving LSU.
She was the one playing defense, but it also kind of felt like people were like, oh, what are you doing? It's like, well, this is who I'm supposed to defend. I'm trying. Like,
yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah. This is interesting. This just came down. Odell Beckham to the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill basically is saying that's the deal. Tyreek went to Snapchat and gave an update, posted a photo of him and Odell Beckham Jr., and it says OBJ to Miami confirmed. So Adam Schefter hasn't said it yet, so it's not real. But if Tyreek Hill says it, is it real?
Doesn't matter.
It's just another receiver at this point, isn't he?
Odell is a guy that people like.
Yeah.
He's been post New York Giants. Like, he's been good in the locker room, making plays. He's just a name now. That passing game is 2 players. It's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It's not going to change if Odell Beckham Jr. shows up.
I think that's right. Let me ask you this. Home run balls. This is always the thing. Oh, I caught the ball. How significant is Shohei Ohtani's first home run ball that he hit as a Dodger? It never even crossed my mind that would be worth something.
I can get a signed ball from him. It's pretty significant.
All right, a guy named Ambar Roman, longtime Dodger fan, caught Ohtani's first home run ball as a Dodger. So he met with Dodger officials. They wanted him to hand over the ball so Ohtani could have it as a keepsake. And of course, there's always a negotiation. The report coming out of LA is the Dodgers used, I don't even know what this means, high-pressure tactics by the Dodgers to persuade her to hand over the ball. And then you get an interpreter involved with Ohtani. And through his interpreter, Ohtani said he was able to talk to the fan and was able to get the ball back. Obviously, it's a very special ball, a lot of feelings toward it. I'm very grateful that it's back. Okay, here's the problem. Roman, the woman who caught the ball, and her husband tell a reporter that they never met Ohtani, even though he says that they met. And it puts a seemingly kind of a benign quote in a different light. So noted, Ohtani said he talked to the fan while met is Roman's word. So I don't know. The Athletic put out a report that in Los Angeles that I guess Dylan Hernandez of the LA Times is fluent in Japanese, and Ohtani said technically didn't say that he was the person who spoke, but he what are we doing?
Give him an autograph on a baseball, swap it out.
What are we doing? So now we got this big flap over. It's lost in the translation. I didn't even think that was that big of a deal. I guess it is. Would you have held on to the ball if they wanted that bad?
I would have swapped it. I think a signed Ohtani baseball would be worth more than his first home run as a Dodger.
Okay. So give me a sign Ohtani baseball and
I'm just like,
give me some upgraded seats for another game. Let me come back.
Tickets and a sign Ohtani ball. That's fair.
Because I'm sitting out in the bleachers here. So give me some nice seats.
It's the only negotiating tool you have as a fan when you catch a home run ball.
High pressure by the Dodgers to go out and find that ball. What are we doing?
Oh, with Ohtani, though, it could have been like, hey, Shohei, it's double or nothing. What do you think?
Fair. Ipe would have had to interpret that, of course. Thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was here. We kicked it with Kenny. Good week, boys and girls. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men Ons here at 4. We're back with award-winning radio beginning at 7 a.m. on Monday. Adrian, great week. Looks good on the visual side. Big weekend for you?
Huge.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other. Please be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we will smell you on Monday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito, he's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado, be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
Stop, okay?
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Life been shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.